Hi guys, welcome to Crazy Burger. So Commodore 64 has new owners. This has been rumbling about for the past few months, but it officially was signed. The deal was actually officially signed on the 1st of August. So what we're going to do is go into some of the details and actually look at what they have planned for the future with Commodore 64. So let's get stuck into the video. So it is actually official. Commodore now have new owners, and I think they've signed 47 trademarks. I'm not entirely sure what those actually are and how many there is overall, but they've actually signed 47 trademarks. And this is headed up by the CEO, Perry Fractic, who you might know as the guy from Retro Recipes, or his real name is actually Christian Simpson. He's actually starred in Star Wars, but I guess if you blinked, you probably missed that appearance. But anyway, he's probably a well-known sort of person on the sort of YouTube scene and obviously the Commodore 64 scene and many other things that he's obviously got his hand in. So he's obviously now purchased, along with a few other people, all the rights for the Commodore 64 brand name and obviously 47 other trademarks. So they have big plans for Commodore 64. I'm not entirely sure what that means for retro games, for example. I think that they might be working closely together. I don't think it'll affect them too much. The fact that they announced the sort of black version of the C64 Mini a couple of days ago, I'm pretty sure they'll be okay, and there'll be sort of deals between them as well. I'm not entirely sure how close their relationship is, but I'm assuming everything is fine. Now, they have launched some new products, which we'll have a look at in a minute on Commodore.net, and you can actually pre-order them now. So what we're going to do is have a look just at the rest of this press release before we move on to that. So this is basically the announcement that was released by the Public Relations Office, and we'll look at all the team behind Commodore 64 now and how it came about, and we'll look at what they've got planned for the future. So let's have a look at their website and some of the products that they've got coming out later this year. Now, you may have seen rumblings about this in the past few months, especially on Retro Recipes' own sort of website. I wasn't entirely sure it was true, or it was really just a sort of a clickbait type of thing, but it is actually happening. It has actually been signed, and it is actually official. So this is what it is. This was launched recently. It was almost like a Kickstarter style thing, but not obviously on Kickstarter's website. But they've got a few different versions of the Commodore 64. So let's have a look at some of the details before we move on to the Commodore 64 versions that they've got. Now, they are quite pricey for what they are, I think. But if you're a huge fan of the Commodore 64, I'm sure you'll be absolutely all over this. I actually still have my original Commodore 64, but this will obviously be an upgraded version of that, which includes all the sort of mod cons that you would maybe expect. And we've got an ultimate version as well, and there's a lot going on here. Compatible with 10,000 plus original retro games, cartridges, peripherals. You've got plus more RAM and 48 megahertz turbo boost, the SID sound chip. You've got Wi-Fi game transfer and USB cassette bursting. That's all amazingly modern, which will bring this up to a new standard, which is just mind-blowing. It is crazy that we're still looking at Commodore 64 stuff a long after its heyday, which is just insane. But there is such a great sort of indie scene as well. It's never really went away, which is just amazing, to be honest. But anyway, let's have a look at the team behind the new Commodore 64. So this is obviously shown in alphabetical order. Some of the team that are behind the sort of purchase. You might recognise some of the people, you might not. But there's a lot of new people that are heading this team up that are obviously backing this, and they're obviously trying to push it. They're obviously very passionate about Commodore 64, hence the fact that they're doing that, which is quite clear. These are massive fans, so these are people that know what they're talking about, and they'll only do good for that. Obviously, they're trying to make money at the same time, but they're obviously extremely passionate about this sort of project and Commodore 64 and want it to keep on continuing. So there is a store. Obviously, we've got 3 different versions of the Commodore 64. We've got the Ultimate Starlight Edition, which is like a, so you can see right through it. That's quite interesting. It's got some light up there. We've got the Commodore 64 Ultimate Founders Edition, and you've got the basic beige, the classic edition. They are quite pricey. The sort of range there from $300 up to $500, so it is quite pricey. So it's not really going to be for everyone. There's a lot more things on their site as well, which if you're interested in. There's lots of peripherals. There's even a nice looking joystick there, which looks really cool. Hopefully they get that right. But let's have a look at the three that we're obviously most interested in, which is the Commodore 64 itself and what they're actually bundling and what's involved. This is obviously the classic beige version. I didn't have this version. I had the slightly later sort of version that included the data cassette. I think it was known as the C64C, perhaps. I'm not entirely sure. Let's have a look at some of the pictures that they've got here before we move right through it. But yeah, I'm sure it'll be high quality. That the pictures are obviously nice. We've got some, it looks like your traditional joystick ports on the back there. We've got some modern, I've got an HDMI out as well there by the looks of it. You've got your memory expansion and I guess for your cartridges as well. Now sadly I don't even have any of my old Commodore 64 games or cartridges. I had lots and lots of them, hundreds, but I do still have the actual Commodore 64, just no games, which is now feeling a wee bit heartbreaking. But interestingly, they've kept the control ports as they were originally. I wonder if there's some USBs in the back, perhaps, maybe. I would expect there should be, just in case you want to obviously connect more modern style controllers as well. So interesting stuff there. There's a sort of interesting looking basic menu. I'm sure this will maybe get expanded and updated at some point. And it looks like the old classic style box as well. I am very, very tempted, I have to be honest. But yeah, there's a quick video there if you're interested that shows you the details a little bit better. But yeah, that does look very, very cool. I'm not sure how, obviously it's trying to be as close to the original as possible and adding a few modern things to it, but it might have been, I'm not really sure we needed the old style controller ports, but I don't know, maybe, what do I know? I don't know. Anyway, that's that version, and that's going to cost you $300 basically. Buy one, get second, 10% off. Yeah, I'm not sure who's going to be buying two, but you never know. Buy one, get one for your friend. Plays 10,000 games, plug in dusty cartridges, CRTVs, no disk drive needed, load games using file browser from the supplied cassette style USB thumb drive, packed with 50 titles, including Commodore's exclusive new sequel to our first ever game, Jupiter Landing Ascension, or Add Your Own. So this does seem really good. Be interesting to know what those 50 games are, because obviously we don't really know what games they've chosen at present. And yeah, you've got the HDMI clarity, you've got Wi-Fi game transfer, so there's lots of interesting stuff hidden inside the autographed names of the C64 creators. So it's not quite a Kickstarter as we sort of hinted at. You obviously are putting the money up front so they can purchase these things, but it does say that the goods are going to start shipping October, November 2025, so it's actually not that far away. You're only a few months down the line. So there's all the information there if you're interested. Can you get a refund? Of course you can. What's in the box? What are they going to include? You've got the Ultimate Computer. You've got your user guide, cassette drive that includes 50 games, plus music and demos, quick start guide, stickers, power supply, blah blah blah. Now, interestingly, they don't actually. It doesn't actually say it's including any sort of joystick of any sort, which is quite surprising. I guess they're maybe trying to cut some costs, but that's kind of a weird. So connections, you've got all the details here. Display output, audio output, networking, which is quite fascinating, and power as per the original one basically. Now the tech specs, you've got 1080p, which is fantastic, 50 or 60 Hz depending on what region you're in, I guess. To SID sockets, controls, rocker switch, yep, interesting. Storage and compatibility, so compatible with pretty much all the file formats, I think, that are recognised there that you can play, which is fantastic. So, wow. Looking very, very cool, no doubt about it. So let's have a look at the Founders. We'll have a look at the Starlight Edition first. That's the one that's next up. It's almost got that sort of see-through sort of look to it with the light, and that is quite fascinating. Let's sort of zoom through some of the pictures. Wow, that really is quite cool, isn't it? Wow. Yeah, I guess you can choose your own colour here. Very cool, absolutely brilliant. I love it. So I'm not sure what's different apart from the fact that it's actually got that translucent case. I don't think it's going to be much different in the box. I think all you're getting here is a slightly different look. It seems an awful lot for it. What, want something even rarer? Oh, rarer. Yep, let's see what's on the box. I'm pretty sure it'll just be the same. Yeah, it is just basically the same. So let's have a look at the Founders Edition. What extras are we getting in the Founders Edition? What's so special about this one? Look at that. Does look very cool. It seems like it's almost glowing up gold. Pretty cool. I don't know. It seems pricey for what it is, to be honest. You've got your Ultimate Founders Edition. You'll get your serial number on the back, I'm sure. But wow, yeah, pretty cool. Is there anything extra in the box? The Gold Founders Edition adds to the default hardware 24 gold plated badges, satin gold keys, translucent amber case. You've obviously got your serial number as well. But yeah, I don't think there's anything else other than that. It obviously just looks really, really fancy. Don't know. Oh, wait a minute. Is there extra stuff in the box here? You've got a gold seal share certificate, I rebooted C t-shirt, so you get a t-shirt, a dog tag. You've got, I think that's it basically. I'm not really sure it's worth the extra that they're asking for there. But anyway, that's the 3 versions. That's basically that. Are you interested in getting one of these guys? Does it appeal? I'm not sure. Obviously, it is quite pricey for what it is. I'm very tempted. Not entirely sure if we'll go ahead at those prices, but I'm very, very tempted. I'll certainly have to give it some thought. I'd love to go down that route. It does look really, really cool. But obviously, there's the cross-reference with the retro game stuff that's been recent. We've had the C64 Maxi, and there's lots of other things going on as well. But anyway, guys, let me know your thoughts. Thanks very much for watching, and we'll catch you again in the next one. Bye for now.